Majora's Mask Deep Dive, something I've largely ignored since April of 2025. And wow, it seems like forever ago I was playing the Wise Guy port of Majora's Mask, and wow, my channel sure has changed a lot since then. I pivoted my channel to tech-based stuff and haven't touched video games since. But I did promise this video forever ago, and I really should finish it all up. Besides, Majora's Mask is a great game, and I think I could play it, I think I could play it again. Before we get into this deep dive, let's talk about the Supercut Plan for this video series. After this video is complete, I'm going to release a supercut with all the previous videos compiled together as one big, massive video. Now, sadly, I don't have the old video project files anymore for some of the older projects, and even some of the old video files I've had to download off YouTube. So I don't know how I lost some of those, but I'll have them again, and hopefully it should be good. I wish I could re-edit them and just make them a little bit better, but I'll try my best with the video files I have at the moment. I think we should start off with what this video is about, and that is the Majora's Mask moon and any other parts I happen to slim over in Clocktown. And after rechecking the Clocktown deep dive I did back almost a year ago now, wow, that's crazy. I didn't really miss anything that important that I can't talk about now. So, how do we get here? Nobody asked in unison. Well, we have to wait till it's midnight of the final day, where the clock tower will open up. I believe I did talk about this in the past. Pretty simple if I do say so myself. Once it opens, we are actually able to walk up there and finally get some stuff done. So now, we are on top of the clock tower. And Skull Kid is doing the same charade we saw in the beginning of the game, where he's all bark and no bite, for lack of a better term, and he brings down the moon. But we have one thing he lacks, and that's some foresight and the Zelda Dungeon Wiki. So now if we play the Oath to Order, we can call in the giants that we freed from the 4 regions. So now they're going to come out in this super long cutscene and hold up the moon in place, despite the fact that they're not even holding onto the moon. But hey, game development's hard. What can I say? They made this game in 18 months or something like that. So they hold up the moon, and the day is saved, believe it or not. So we can go ahead and wrap this video up. Hope you guys enjoy watching. No, not yet. So now Majora this is a twist. Majora is now in control of Skull Kid, and he leaves Skull Kid to die. And now we enter the celestial body that is invading our atmosphere, known as the moon for face. And we go in, and well, this sure is not the inside of the moon I imagined. This looks to me more like the Tree of Life, a classic icon in Abrahamic religion. Maybe we're inside the Garden of Eden. Now, I don't think so, since I don't see the Tigris or Euphrates, but maybe the developers forgot to add it. Hey, they only made this game in 18 months. Game development's pretty hard. Maybe this is actually the Garden of Termina. I don't know. Leave your ideas in the comments below. Leave your ideas in the comments below, y'all. So, what's actually up here? Well, there's the tree, and there are 5 kids. 4 of these kids are wearing the masks of the bosses that we dealt with earlier in the game. This is the Wadola mask, the Goat mask, the Georg mask, and the Twin Mold mask. But there's also a kid under the tree who's being a real Debbie Downer and not frolicking through the fields here in this weird Field of Dreams, or Roblox Field of Battle. Yeah, remember that? I used to play that before the Captain America event, and that's how old school I am. But besides that, let's go over these kids in order of boss fights. So first we have the Wadola Kid, who asks for 2 masks in total. He takes us to a forest temple-like area where he uses the Deku flowers to get us to the end, or really we use them to get to the end. So there's already a theme established here. Each one of these areas will make use of the transformation mask in some way to get to the end. We have to travel to these other floating islands to get to the end of the place, and it's done. He asks us a question about life, and let me see here. Oh, should I bring this back, or does this still leave a sour taste in some of your mouths? Haven't seen this fellow in a while, haven't y'all? Well, he asked, the kid I should say, asked about my friends and what kind of people they are. The next kid is the Goat Kid, who will make use of the Goron mask to run through a little race. Okay, you use the Goron mask and you run through a racetrack thing, and it ends pretty quick. That's pretty much the bare gist of this one. There's really not much to say here. He makes us give him 4 masks in total, and the price, you can tell, is thickening here. A little side here, I've always wondered if you could only get the absolute minimum amount of mass to run out of mass before you talk to Majora Kid, because spoiler alert, the Majora Kids gives you the Fair Stadium mass when you're all out of mass. So I've always wondered, it was always an idea, this is completely off script, it was always an idea of mine if I can get like the minimum 6 or 10 amount of mass you need just to get there in the game, because I know some parts of the game you are required to have a certain mask, like the Giant's Mask, and a few others. The Giant's Mask, the Gara's Mask, the Gibdo's Mask, those are 3 I can think of that you're required to have by the end of the game, but I'm not sure what others. I've always wondered if you could make that minimum amount somehow and still get the Fierce Stadium Mask. But it's probably not possible. If it is, let me know in the comments. Besides that, the Goron Kid is behind this little ice area here, and he also asks you a very philosophical question. He asks us what makes us happy, and if it also makes other people happy. You know, a following theme I have here, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if what makes you happy makes other people happy. Next is the Gauntlet Kid, or I should just call him the Fish Kid, who asks for a total of 6 masks. This segment is by far the absolute fastest. You use the Zora mask to swim through the moon's plumbing system, and a pattern of left, left, right, right, or my left, right, left, left, or something, whatever I did. I messed it up a bit, but I still got there. He also asks us a question, if the right thing is really the right thing that makes other people happy. It's kind of like that Simpsons bit where they build a house on good intentions. You can't build a house on good intentions, Marge, as Ned Flanders says. As I said before, I don't know, guys. Why don't you leave it in the comments below. Now, on to our last kid, who we have to get robbed by before we can progress. And this is the first little gauntlet of some sort that has some real variation to it. And we have to fight some enemies. A lizard, a Garamasker, and the guy's whose name I forgot. I think it's an Iron Hand. It's been a while since I played this game. Leave it in the comments, whatever it is. So here we go. And there's some real puzzles too, like using bomb chews to break open holes to shoot an eye at with eye switches. Very basic Zelda stuff, you know, you solve it the moment you walk inside the room. This area is by far the most diverse since we actually have to use our sword, and I do enjoy this much more than the others. We are also asked a question here that should be pondered upon. He asks us if our true face, or he asks us about our true face, what type of face is it? And if this true face is really true, it's just these weird, stupid philosophical things. I don't know, you guys leave that in the comments what you think about that. Now, about the Majora fight, he goes through several different forms here. There is Majora's Mask, Majora's Incarnation, and Majora's Wrath. Now, with the Fierce Deity Mask, this is a real breeze and is very simple. And there we have it. The credits roll. You get to see the Happy Mask Salesman disappear with his lack of transition frames. Because, you know, game development's hard. This game only came out in 18 months, guys. You gotta defend it for that. That's not the real reason. That was clearly intentional. But, yeah, it's a weird ending. It is confirmed. The Skull Kid at the end of the game is the Skull Kid from Ocarina of Time. That you taught Serious Song to. I cannot speak tonight. So yeah, that wraps it up. That wraps up the Hero of Time trilogy, unless you want to count Twilight Princess with the Hero Shade. But that is that. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this final wrap-up for the Majora's Mask Deep Dive.